slickers. I feel like Russell Coit in All Aussie Adventures.
Of course, I never had any intention of parking across 3 charging bays, but I have put this video together with 8 tips for towing anything with your electric vehicle. We are off on a one-day trip to Canberra to deliver some furniture and get back the same day. The Tesla Model Y was fitted a year or so ago with a standard Tesla Model Y tow package, and we have had experience before towing our e-bikes all the way to Noosa, and I also regularly carry my Teleria Sting on a motorcycle rack on the back of the Tesla Model Y. So we are aware that the efficiency of the battery and the range that you get in the vehicle is reduced when you're towing. When we took the e-bikes to Noosa, we found that the range was reduced by about 20%. So you did require 1 additional charge per day when pulling something like e-bikes because of the inefficiency of the aerodynamics. This is our first experience towing a full-size trailer. We just have a table that we're taking to Canberra, and the total combined weight is probably in the order of about 600 kilograms. It is my expectation that certainly we'll have 20 or 25% range reduction as a result of the increased load we're carrying. So it's 5 a.m. next morning. We need to do this as a return trip in one day to Canberra, so we're starting early. Without a trailer we can easily get to Goulburn, which is about halfway, and top up at the Tesla superchargers. We're starting this trip with a 75% charge. It became apparent quite early in the journey that we in fact would not make it to Goulburn on 75% battery. The Tesla energy system calculated that we would have to stop at Exeter to charge before we went on. When we arrived at the Exeter supercharger, we were down to 11% of battery capacity. So the first tip I have is recognise that your electric vehicle is going to do far less range than it normally would. Certainly 20% if you're towing bikes on the back, and looks like 50% reduction if you're towing a large trailer. Second tip, of course, is to know where the chargers are located. If you're driving a Tesla, it will direct you to the nearest Tesla charger and many of the third-party chargers. But I also recommend, as tip number 3, that you use a software product called PlugShare, which shows you all of the available chargers in your location of any brand whatsoever. And of course you don't want to be a total dickhead parking across multiple charging bays just because you're too lazy to disconnect your trailer. Ideally look for charging stations where they have drive-in charging bays. This enables you to charge your vehicle without having to disconnect your trailer. And just as an additional plug, pun intended, if you're passing through Exeter, have a look at the Tesla supercharger location. They've got a wonderful cafe there, and they sell heatherbrae pies, and they've got all the amenities you need when you're having a charging stop. We left Exeter with close to 100% charge on the battery. However, it wasn't too long before we realised that we in fact wouldn't make it to our full destination in Canberra with the sufficient range left to get to the next local charger. So we decided to stop at the Majura Park shopping centre and get a top-up at the Tesla supercharger there before we proceeded on. It wasn't necessary to get a full charge, so we boosted the battery up to about 60%, and that got us to our destination with about 30% spare battery capacity, more than enough to get to the next supercharger. Having made it to our destination, I got to practice my reversing skills before detaching the trailer. I then headed off to Tuggeranong for the Tesla supercharger to boost the battery back up with enough energy to get us back to Goulburn, to the supercharger there. We left Tuggeranong with about 76% battery capacity, which the Tesla range calculations told us would be more than enough to get us to Goulburn. So at Goulburn we know that there are no drive-through charging bays, so it really is important to disconnect your trailer if there is no drive-through there. Don't go covering up other people's charging bays because it's just bad etiquette for EV drivers to do that. So with this trailer towing experience, I realise now that the battery consumption is twice as much as normal. So really you only have half the usual range of your EV if you're towing a trailer similar to the one we were using. I also recommend that you charge to 100% at each opportunity, unless you are really sure that you don't need a full battery charge to get to the next charging location. My final tip is to do what I call hypermiling, that is to start under the speed limit slowly and drive along until the electric vehicle calculates accurately the range that you are going to get with the driving conditions that you're in. This way you avoid any nasty surprises like running low on battery when you thought you could make it to the next destination. We arrived home with about 19% battery left. The total distance was about 520 kilometres and the total cost using the superchargers was about $80. So it worked out at approximately twice the usual battery consumption and therefore twice the cost of a normal trip to Canberra. Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. G'day and welcome to Steve's Tesla. This is my channel dedicated to electric vehicles and renewable energy. Subscribe now and let's drive.